Guess what?
We've gone 1 full month on Carnivore.
And it went fast. The
Really
only hard time we had was just like that first week. And that was, it was expected. We already had heard about it and it was better than what we thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Because we thought the bathroom situation was gonna be horrific, and it wasn't.
For us, it wasn't. And we did do AIP prior to this, so I think that kind of helped ease us into it, even though we did have, we did have that moment, but ours was brief, right?
It was like within the first week and a half, we had the runs. Sometimes it was when we would regularly go. It wasn't emergency. It wasn't anything that just couldn't be dealt with. It was no big deal.
Exactly.
And we thought it was going to just be sitting on the toilet feeling sick. And it was nothing like that at all. And Erica, my best friend, is also doing this with us. And she had the same experience. And she came from not eating good, where we were already eating clean. And it was a similar situation.
Getting the water dialed in for me was a biggie because I was so thirsty. Yeah.
Lifesaver, Keto Chow, electrolyte drops. All they are is sodium, magnesium, potassium, and minerals from the Great Salt Lake. And we are not sponsored or anything.
Yeah, you could get whatever brand you want, but that's going to be important. So during this 30 days, I had a couple of nights where I got cramps in my calves. And like I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, man, that's weird.
We'd heard about cramping before.
It wasn't debilitating though.
Yeah.
It was just, I got these cramps. I just kind of stretched my calves out while I was laying there. And then the next night it happened again. Then I told Steph, I said, man, it's kind of weird. I'm getting these cramps. And I was looking at the workouts I was doing. I said, I know I was doing things that might have caused that. I do the sauna, And she said, you're not getting enough electrolytes. So I started putting more electrolytes in, and
that went away.
It went away immediately. So adjusting, if you are going to sweat a lot, exercise and stuff like that, you got to adjust. You got to feel good. And I'm at that point now where I don't feel like I'm constantly thirsty, and I'm just like, I'm putting these things in there. Every time I drink, I put some in there.
Yes, and just so you guys know, we only drink reverse osmosis water. That's what's on our tap here with the little spigot thing that we have. So it's already demineralized. So we're remineralizing it, plus we need electrolytes and stuff. So maybe we're using more than most people have to do. But if you're drinking spring water, it may not be as bad. If it tastes salty to you, you have too much. But from what ours is, it's not salty at all. I can put 2 entire droppers full in this, and it's not salty. To me, I can't even taste it at all. If I put 3, I don't think I could taste it either, but.
I don't taste it either. Both of us, our energy level, like, you have to take a step back and look at what we've been doing and say, we're just on the go without going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, we've been doing
We've been
house
more productive,
projects,
getting work
productive.
done, doing all kinds of stuff, and it's just going by fast. So our energy is really good.
Really good.
My sleep has always been good. His sleep has been always bad, but it's been better on AIP. That's autoimmune protocol we were on.
Before this AIP, I was like, man, I got good sleep. Finally,
and he was feeling great,
sleep.
Energetic.
But now I have an Apple Watch, so it tracks my sleep, and it tells me how I'm doing. It tells how many hours you slept, how many of those hours were quality, and then how many were deep sleep. And my deep sleep, it was a miracle if I got an hour.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there with like 3 or 4 hours all the time, and he, no
well,
matter
yours
what.
is a genetic thing. Like you and your brother and your parents.
We all just sleep.
They can go to sleep in a minute. And
Insomniac, all the stuff. Yeah,
so my sleep on AIP was really good. I was doing great. We started this a month ago. The day after 2 days, basically the second day, I even commented. I said, "Man, I slept really good last night."
Yeah.
Like it was a different feeling for me. It was just like I felt like I laid down and then went immediately to sleep and didn't wake up until 8 hours later. I'm averaging right now, the past week, I'm averaging 2.5 hours of deep sleep.
He is looking at it like
It's
a
crazy.
maniac every day, like, oh my gosh, I got good sleep again. He's so excited.
It is crazy. It's quality sleep, which is important. And mine's like 6 or 7 hours is quality. And then my deep sleep is off the chain. And when we go to bed, like I just say, well, I'm going to bed.
Normally he has to have radio on or something on just to get him to unwind and
make
fall
my
asleep.
mind settle down. And
the lights are off and he just goes to sleep now.
So it does have something to do with like whatever anxiety I'm experiencing or used to, or just not. It's a habitual thing, not sleeping.
Could also be magnesium. There's magnesium in here. I know that helps people sleep.
But I felt it the second day. The second day I noticed, and it just keeps getting better. The sleep fantastic. Energy level, fantastic. And mentally being awake is interesting too. Like I'm stimulated, not like crazy. I'm just able to think and focus.
Completely balanced.
Yes.
Happy.
Recall things. Like being able to recall.
Oh, we could do some math to prove it.
We could do math. Some of you that have been
can't.
around a while, you know how our math situations go. No, we can't do math.
No, it's going to get worse.
But
the further we get away from school, the worse it's going to be.
Yeah. But it's been great. I mean,
okay. And
what is your biggest takeaway?
My biggest thing, by far, is the lack of cravings. There are no cravings at all day long, all night long. I don't wake up hungry. I don't wake up and go, or anything, go to the bathroom and be like, I'm kind of hungry. There's nothing at all. I'm completely satiated until it's time to eat. It's the weirdest thing. We did cut back our portions for a while. We're like, we don't eat it as much, but we added it back in. We're eating a lot again because we didn't notice any different really, except we'd be hungry sooner, which was fine, but we didn't seem as satiated. And I felt like the more things we watched, the more YouTube videos we watched and stuff, the more we realized we need to be completely satiated. Yes. We were just experimenting, trying to figure out where our levels are. So we're eating like full steak ourselves, not just halving it, unless it's giant. Yeah. That kind of thing. For a meal, we're eating 2 meals a day. We usually eat around 10 a.m. Yep. And we've been eating 2 meals a day for a couple years almost,
long time.
Seems like. Because they're gigantic meals. I mean, really. And I really think that on this diet, and this was another thing I noticed too. I realized I wasn't having okay, let me just start it this way. Going back to the bathroom situation.
Oh boy. Our favorite.
He's going every single day, every morning, and I'm going like every couple days, or I was going every couple days. I think 2 days I'd be like, I haven't gone yet. And then when I go, they're very small, but now we found out that that's normal. 1 day to 2 days is normal, and they're way smaller, no smell, and there's like no wiping.
How weird is that?
It's really weird. Really, really weird, but how great is that? Yeah. But that was not that way the first week.
So we're not producing a lot of waste. It's being I'm assuming everything's being utilized.
Yes.
For fuel and whatnot.
And like we've said before, we're not doctors. We don't know anything. No. It's just what we're watching and learning about. Dr. Barry on YouTube, we watch his stuff all the time. It's just learning more and more as we go with other doctors that are doing it. So everybody asks us, what about this or that? We don't know. We're just learning it too. But we're doing this as an experiment. Everybody wants to know, why are you trying to lose weight? It's not about weight loss. We're not doing it for weight loss. We're doing it for health. Yeah. Steve has 2 autoimmune disorders. One of them is his eye. The gluten is his arthritis part. Yeah, his ankylosing spondylitis. That seems to be totally fine with just avoiding gluten and sugar. Those are his big triggers. We found out through autoimmune protocol, elimination diet. But when he got his uveitis flare again, which is his eyes, his autoimmune, where his body just rejects his eye for no reason because an autoimmune gets triggered and goes out of whack. So we're doing this diet for him specifically and just to experiment. It's not like we're doing this forever. Although right now, I can honestly say,
don't have to do anything forever.
I don't have any desire to stop this right now. I love it. I love this way of eating. I love this way of life. I love the simplicity of it. I don't have to cook. Like my cooking is, Steve's gonna throw this on the barbecue. Yeah. No sides, no big dishes that take me an hour to make and then I ruin them.
Less dishes.
Groceries.
I mean, everything about
so
it is easy.
The groceries we're saving money overall with this because eating on autoimmune protocol, every single thing's organic, everything's grass-fed, it's all that stuff, which we're still doing that. But all the other things that are so expensive, the organic fruits, making sure your plate was 75% vegetables and you're supposed to eat the rainbow, all different, the more colors you have on your plate, the better. But this is doing something different for our energy level.
It's not a matter of believing in, you should have vegetables, you should only eat meat. That's irrelevant. The relevant thing is, how do you feel when you have these things? Because like I know a lot of people are going to comment, hey, we're worried about your cholesterol levels.
Are you going to get scurvy?
And it's not like we just go, hey, let's go do this thing and see if it kills us. We didn't do that. We did some research, and ultimately, the way we feel is a big indicator of what's happening to us. Like if we were doing this and we're sluggish And every time we eat a meal, we're just like all, you know how you get when you eat a traditional meal that they tell you you're supposed to eat in America?
Yeah.
You don't eat that meal and just want to go tackle the world and have sustained energy throughout the day while you're working and doing all these things. That doesn't happen. If you're eating all that stuff, it doesn't happen. So all we're concerned with is, do we feel good doing it? Is there any adverse effects? And for me, it's obviously the uveitis is the big one now. And because I had that flare up, that's when we, decided, hey, let's just go full on with this.
Let's try the carnivore.
Yeah, because we had heard about it.
Yeah.
But even like a lot of you feel like it sounds crazy.
It does. I still can't wrap my brain around it. Like I was hanging on to that kombucha, or I still am. I still have it. Because I'm so about the gut health and all that stuff, worked so hard on it. With these 3 big giant gallons of kombucha
we drink it every day.
Yeah, every day.
2 years.
Delicious. And so I've been trying to figure out what should I do about it, because I don't want, if we get off this, I don't want to have to start all over, which I could, no problem. But anyway, I just was watching a video yesterday, and they were talking about, it was Dr. Barry and some other doctor guy who's a neuroscientist or something, I don't know what he was. And somehow the kombucha came up, and Dr. Barry said there was some sort of study that was done on the gut biome of people on carnivore versus, I don't remember, I think it was regular. I don't remember what exactly it was. But the carnivore people had a higher gut biome. And just doing that, yes, with more strains of whatever. So I was like, oh, okay. So, because I was thinking maybe we should just have a shot of kombucha, a little bit of it, and maybe have a bite of sauerkraut or something, just to have some more gut biome, or take a probiotic or something. But now I feel safe about it. I'm like, okay, our guts are fully propagated. We're going to be fine with helping our guts heal, whatever. We drink bone broth. We are eating liver now, so that's good.
We're eating stuff that apparently
organs.
The gut biome enjoys.
Yes.
That's what that research shows basically is, hey, the gut biome thrives in that environment.
Without the sugars and all that stuff. So anyway, so I feel like, okay, I can let that go too. All the stuff from our pantry is gone. It's in a box in our guest room. We're going to take it to my friend Monique.
It's unreal how much is in there.
I'm completely set on this right now. I'm getting rid of, cleaning out the pantry, stuff that isn't expired, is going to a friend who is a health chef. She cooks meals for just personal shelf for people with health issues.
Yeah, people like us. Or like me.
Yeah.
She would be doing it.
Monique, you've met Monique, my minimalist friend. That's what she does. She is a personal chef for people with, like, she's got one, people that can't have salt or can't have this or have all different weird things. She's got one client that's narcoleptic. Yeah. Falls asleep cooking. So there's danger. She can't cook. So, I mean, stuff like that. It's really cool talking to her about the stuff that she deals with. But anyway, so she can use a lot of that stuff because she's got a lot of health issues with clients, so it'll be fine.
None of it's going to waste.
Yeah, so, but I'm committed. The stuff is going. It was gone, I guess. My pantry is getting redone over here because now I got the KitchenAid mixer in one of these. I took one of the shelves out. There's nothing in there. I mean, it's awesome. Our fridge is normally packed all the time with all the fruits and vegetables and all that stuff. And now it's got nothing in it but meat in the freezer and meat in the fridge that we're gonna eat. We're not even doing dairy, so there's no cheeses or anything in there. There's like nothing.
So easy. Cleanup is like
we use 4 plates a day. I mean,
it's really nothing.
No, it's awesome.
And it's delicious. This morning we just sit down and when you start eating, it's like, oh my goodness. It's so good.
The weird thing too is I know when we first did this, I'm like, I'm gonna be so sick of meat. And I was in the very beginning. He didn't really have that, but I did. I got that meat aversion, that's what they call it, where you just thinking of meat or even the fat or anything like that, just your body is basically, it's your gut, I guess, that's used to all the carbs and sugar and addicted, says, I need what I want to eat, and makes your brain just go nuts thinking about, oh, I need berries, I need some fruit, I need some salad, I need some whatever. It wants some carbs. And so once you get past that stage, you poop out all those toxins, bacteria that want those things, and your new biome starts with the meat loving stuff, I guess. Then you start wanting meat. It's really weird.
Interesting.
When we were eating this morning, I was like, I can't believe how much we're loving, like we ate a steak and eggs and bacon and chicken toast.
chicken toast is.
With the butter.
We just did that video. That stuff is good.
Really good. It was really good. I cut it in the patty and I sliced it. But it was, if you look for the video later, it'll be carnivore bread. That's what it is. Yeah. And I blew it. I didn't know what I was doing. You guys told me it should have been cooked for like an hour maybe. And I think that makes sense. Well, the lady that I copied the recipe from, she didn't say how long. She said until it looked done. But I tried 20 minutes and it wasn't done. Another 20 wasn't.
Delicious.
I know. But so I did it flat. Turned out great. What we had was great, and what we have left over is great.
Time to eat this morning. We looked over. You were going, I'm just so, like, you were glowing. Like, I'm serious.
I was like, this steak is so good.
Yeah, she goes,
how are
I
we
just
not
love
sick of this?
I know. And I know, like, I really like meat and stuff, but I freaking love eggs. And I had a moment with the eggs where it was like,
he's getting sick of them.
I was eating, like, I couldn't get enough of them. And then all of a sudden, there was a point where I was like, I think you need to cut back on the eggs for me because I'm feeling something.
Who is this?
I know. I've always ate a lot of eggs. Always.
We're talking like 10 eggs you could eat.
Yeah, easily. But
I overdid them on the eggs.
That just happened. No, it wasn't your fault. I was eating it. I was going, oh yeah, this is great. So now I said, cut back on that a little, and we're fine tuning.
But you just ate 4 eggs for breakfast, plus an egg in your coffee, and that bread had 8 eggs in it. So.
Good point. But I'm not eating them like that every single day.
He has got the barbecue dialed in on our steaks right now. They are great. I don't know.
Probably because you just love the flavor of the steak.
No, and I'm loving the fat on the steak. Yes. I'm loving the gristle on the steak. All the different things I'm loving. I'm even liking the liver. I mean,
our bodies are telling us, keep doing what you're doing. That's what it feels like. Our bodies are just like, hey, keep doing this because this is good. And
I never want cookies or cake. It's weird that I don't want the dessert. I don't even think about it ever. And that's the hardest thing for me to believe that happened.
Away. That is interesting.
Yeah.
It's a mind-boggling thing. We don't understand it completely. We continually are learning, but it still blows our minds. We're just like, man, this is so weird. Because we feel so good. It's so simple, and it's working. There's all these positive things happening physically and mentally, and you still are confused because of the way we were raised, the environment, all the food environment in the United States, like the fast food, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's confusing to say, we're just eating meat and that's going to be fine. And it is.
Yeah.
It is. And like Steph said, like we're doing this right now. If something happens, obviously we would change course. But that one doctor said, try it for 90 days. If it doesn't help whatever you're doing it for, weight loss, autoimmune, like all these different things.
That's the cool thing is
then stop.
We're only at 30 days.
I know.
So what's going to change between 60 and then 90 when everything is the rest of your life?
Right now.
I think it is. I got a butcher box order
delivered right now.
And all the butcher box, I think I did them all like ribeyes.
I'll be back.
Oh, fun.
You can talk to them.
Well, I'll put a link to the butcher box. I think you get $50 off or something if you use a referral, and we get $50 off. So if you guys want to use it, go for it. That would be awesome because we're eating a lot of meat over here. But Steve's got a big meat box over there. Let's show you. We're not sponsored by Butcher Box. We just got it because I didn't know where all the meat was to find around here for the cheapest areas, and we wanted grass finished. And I know it's not necessarily important on this diet to have it be grass finished or grass fed, or to have the healthiest meats. A lot of people can still eat Spam and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if you have a health disorder, like an autoimmune disorder, where you're especially sensitive to gluten, that's Steve. Yeah. In our autoimmune protocol group that we were in, the AIP group, a lot of people reacted to meat that wasn't grass finished.
Yep.
Because grass fed, they get fed grass their whole lives or whatever, up until the end when they get fattened up and then they get grains. Grass finished gets grass the whole way, all the way. So it's more expensive because it's more expensive to feed them, and they're not as fat in the end. But if you have a gluten allergy, like Steve, then you could react to that. So I try to get us meat that is the grass finished if we can, the cleanest we can. And he hasn't had a reaction so far, but to times that we haven't. But I don't want to risk it, and might as well. Plus, I'm making bone broth and stuff, and if there's bones in there, I want the bones to be
tonight.
Bone broth.
Right when you said it, it's like right when she said it, I was like, "Ooh, that sounds good."
Yeah, really good. But oh my gosh, okay, I guess I will release this video. I made bone broth and then I went kind of out of control in the middle of it. As you guys know I do. I just start winging things, and I experimented in the video on doing it a different way than I normally do it, but it turned out
is that the one we've been having?
Great. No, you haven't had it yet.
Okay.
I have. And I gotta just tell you this. Because a big thing is
I can only imagine.
Well, I guess you're gonna see it when you edit it. It's all on my phone. I haven't even given it to you.
Okay.
But let's just say that you guys can watch it and see what happens, because I went nuts. I went kind of weird at the end, and I thought I blew it until I tried it like the next day once it was cold and everything. Okay, bone broth, good bone broth is like a jelly, you know? And I went even crazier on it, and it's not a clear jelly on this one. This one's a thick one.
Yeah, because I've seen you do that stuff before. It's like it's all thick.
Yeah, but when you cook it, it's liquid again.
Like Steph said, we're not sponsored by anybody. We get the butcher block, better meat for better you. We put links, but we're not. And just like when we show you this stuff, we're not getting paid for that. We're showing you what we're doing
and what we've learned from you guys.
Exactly.
And from other things.
Somebody was upset that, hey, you keep trying to make me buy, this
Keto Chow.
Yeah. It's like, no, we're not.
You could get the LMNT, the element one, or whatever.
We do not know these people.
No.
We just saw this on somebody we were watching and learning about.
I think it was Dr. Barry.
Whoever it was didn't even talk about it. We saw it on the counter and go, okay, let's get that.
Oh, Jordan Peterson, I think, talked about how he was getting cramps or something and started doing that, and he wished he had the electrolytes when he first started. And other people said it too, that they wished they'd done the electrolytes. So we made sure we had the electrolytes when we started, because we were afraid of whatever the repercussions would be if you didn't have them.
If somebody wants to sponsor us, if you want to sponsor us, go for it. But it's not, that ain't what we're doing. We're trying to share with you guys.
This is a free diet.
And ultimately, we're looking into trying to buy, like, what was it, half a cow or something like that?
Yes. But it's way more expensive than getting it like through them.
Really?
Way more. Yes. And I think it's because we're in California and there's not a lot of cows around here. But grass fed.
There you go.
That's the thing. But no, it's
there's
way more
expensive. There's a lot of cows in California, by the way.
I know.
Just in our area, the grass fed, grass
finished. Yeah, it's way more, but it ends up being like on average, like, I can't say way more, but it's, if you're finding them on sale, you're getting a better deal than you would through them. But we haven't tried it, and it may be way better. So we might do it.
All right. Well,
just to try it.
I thought
but the pricing I've been getting from 2 different places, it's very expensive.
All right.
So we'll see. And you don't get to pick all your
butcher
pets.
Box.
Yeah, right now we're going to stick with Butcher Box. But I know some people don't love them. Some people like other ones. There's other ones to try. So I might try the other ones too. We'll see. I just want to, I don't know, we want good meat. And we can get it from Sprouts and stuff. But when it's not on sale, it's good to have this in the freezer for later.
Something else we've learned on this 30 days is that freaking chuck roast is incredible. Like that.
The poor man's ribeye?
Yeah. There was a video about it, and that was basically the poor man's ribeye.
Yeah.
And it did not disappoint. It's
you
more
cut
affordable.
it as steaks.
Yeah.
You take the roast, cut it as steaks, and cook it like a steak, and it's great.
We're gonna do that. Like, we've tried it at home. You want it to be a little more firm when you cut it, but that's fine.
Yeah, a lot of you guys said get it kind of frozen, and it'll cut better.
But we're gonna go to a butcher and do it that. Like, we're gonna go to a butcher and get one and have them cut it up for us. But even if you have to cut it yourself, it's no big deal. But that is a really, really good, fatty piece of meat that's delicious.
Yep.
I think it's right there with the
this is one thing I was going to say before, and I forgot. I got sidetracked because that's me. But, okay, so what I was going to say is for going regularly, he was going regularly. I was going regularly every couple days or whatever. But I watched something, or maybe I read about it, and somebody said that, are you getting enough fat? And I was like, you know what? He's eating brown butter bites every day.
Yeah.
And I don't really eat them that much. I like them, but I don't eat them that much. He puts butter on everything. And I don't really add it to too much. So I'm like, I'm gonna up my butter, because I read that if you're eating a lot of protein, you can get you won't go as regularly because you don't have as much fat to get it processed properly, I guess. So I upped my fat intake, which, I just put more butter on my steak, and I just had more butter in general. Or more bacon fat on things. And I've been going totally regularly since, and I actually went down a pound, and I hadn't lost anything. So, I lost a lot right in the beginning, not a lot. I think I lost like 7 pounds or something right away. And then I haven't really lost anything since. It's been regular because we're not doing it for weight loss. I'm not exercising, I'm not doing anything. But a lot of people said you can stall. And who knew adding fat would make you process your stuff better, and then you're going to be more regular, everything's going to be fine. So
that's another thing, that there's a logical explanation on how fat works. I can't tell you what it is. I've heard it.
And I told it to you guys wrong. It was 2 to 1 protein to fat. It's actually 2 fat to 1 protein. So once I saw that, I'm like, I'm not getting nearly enough fat. And if I'm eating something lean, that like a ham or something, it's way too lean. I need to add a lot of fat to compensate. So we're still trying to figure it all out.
Yeah. We're loving it. And when we go to the bathroom, like you pointed out, it's surprising how little it is. Like, it
and
really
how clean it is.
Yes.
There's no streak. One thing that Erica said, I asked her, she sent me a message, I wanted to send it to you. I was talking about that time of the month. I said mine was coming up. I wonder if this is going to be any different. It's about the same, I think, too. Once I started AIP, things changed and they were less cramping, less anything, no PMS. Same still, nothing interesting there from coming from AIP, but from before, major cramping, all kinds of crazy stuff, heavy flow. So she said, Wes and I have noticed we haven't taken 1 single Tums since we've been on Carnivore.
Wow. That's cool.
And they were popping them all the time, I guess. She said Wes would wake up in the middle of the night choking on his acid reflux and stuff. So, and he hasn't taken Tums at all. He's doing more Ketovore, I think. He's not full complete carnivore. He's doing Ketovore, whatever the difference is there. He's still trying to do close to 0 carbs as he can, and he's checking his ketones and all that stuff. But he's still having some vegetables and things, I guess. So, because he's kind of scared.
We can't just gloss over that. That's a big deal.
Big deal.
They both have had that issue, reflux, for years.
And just thought it was something that happened with age.
Yeah. I mean, now it goes away. They've been doing
and they didn't even realize it. It just dawned on them.
But they're a day behind us. But this happened. This didn't just now happen. It happened like...
Yeah, she sent that like a week ago or something. And she just realized that they hadn't had any. How weird is that?
That's fine. Just that alone, if I had that issue and all of a sudden it disappeared, I would be freaking thrilled, and I would continue to do whatever it is that made that go away. Oh,
there was another thing. Reading in these carnivore groups, you see other weird things that I don't know if they're true or not. I mean, I don't think they're lies, but I just mean like maybe, like this one is an interesting thing. We'll have to see. But somebody said, and a lot of people responded and said, yeah, me too, that bugs aren't biting them anymore since they've been doing carnivore. So like mosquitoes and bugs, and they were getting eaten up all the time. They don't seem to bite them anymore. So that's weird. So Steve gets eaten all the time. I don't.
It has went down. Okay, here's how, because I'm going to be skeptical until I can be.
Yeah.
I'm like
a
magnet to bugs. I have felt like I blamed it on. I thought the storm maybe, made the bugs less aggressive. Mm-hmm. I did get bit by a spider.
That doesn't count.
I know, but you guys need to know that I got bit by a spider.
You guys need to know.
It was on my ankle, and it hurt like a mother, and it swelled up. But anyways.
And you forgot to use your little suction pin I got you.
I was in a panic. I just got bit by a spider. So
I want to try that thing.
It was a black widow.
It was a brim reckless.
So when we've been going on the walks, and the walks we go on, that's wild out there.
Yeah.
That's actually a nature preserve where that golf course is.
And there's certain areas we walk through that he's getting bit. He's like this the whole time because there's just a swarm of bugs that live in that area.
But it has been less. And Steph was telling me, hey, you're getting bit. And I didn't want to say, if I get bit once, I'm going to say, yeah, I got bit.
Yeah.
But before, I was literally
smacking his skin constantly.
It would be all over, like my ankles. They'd get around my face. It was, I was a magnet.
Yeah.
But I have, the last few days, like this morning, nothing. Mm-hmm. Yesterday morning, nothing. And I keep saying, okay, it's just early. I'm going earlier while it's
And it could
cool.
be true. We don't know.
But on our evening ones, the last few.
Less bugs.
Less bugs. I had a couple, bump into me. So, like they do. They bumped into me. And then I was thinking, I got bit, but I didn't feel anything. So I will let you know, because I am the perfect candidate for this. Bugs hate me.
Yeah.
Or love me.
Another weird thing, a lot of people said that they aren't getting bit either, but another weird thing that I've seen is women's hair. I haven't noticed it about men, but women, are saying that their hair is not getting gray like it was. It was going gray fast and it stopped going gray. And some people said, no, it's just the more oil you're having, the gray hairs are getting more oil on it, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But a lot of women said it. So that was really weird. I don't have a lot of grays yet, but I don't know. We'll have to see.
Group of them say it is interesting.
If you start getting black hair, that would be interesting. But a lot of women, specifically, I mean women, okay, if you join these carnivore groups, join the women's ones, because those guys are crazy in those guy groups. They
I
like
don't
to
go
just,
to any of these groups.
No, but I'm learning a lot in them, but they just like to start crap with people because they know people are major carnivore police in there, and so they'll just say stuff to stir the pot, like what kind of dressing should I have on my blah blah blah, you know, just stuff that just get people
They're trolling people.
Yes, and they love to watch what happens after. So a lot of them are phony, just writing stuff, and then or just messing around or being snarky. The women are really caring and
help each other.
Yes, and they'll post recipes and stuff like that. So join the women's group. If you guys have been thinking about this, or if you are considering it, do research on your own.
You're going to have to do some work. If you're just going to go and have somebody on YouTube tell you, do this, you'll never feel truly sure or confident, especially if you can't understand it, just like us.
And if you're going to ask us about it, don't listen to us. We don't know. We're not scientists. We're experimenting too.
And we're telling you our experience.
Yes.
But if you feel like this is something that can help you, do the research yourself. Your doctor, if you go talk to your doctor, maybe you're lucky and you have a doctor that stays current on everything and he'll be able to explain to you why this works and how it works. But maybe you don't. Maybe you'll have a doctor that's just going to be writing a prescription, putting you on these statins. You know, I've had plenty of doctors that you could be in there talking to them and telling you what's wrong with them, and their eyes are glazed over. And as soon as you shut your mouth, they got to write a prescription for you.
Yeah.
That's it. So if you're lucky to have a doctor that's more involved and sees you for a long period of time, he's not going room to room in his little hospital with all these people in there waiting to be seen. I mean, think about that. They don't have enough time for this. Do your own research.
Well, proof of one thing is diet has a lot to do with your health no matter what.
Yes.
Like Steve, we don't like to be in medicine if we can help it at all. And all they want to do is pump Steve with medicine for his autoimmune disorders and all these things. And just, you know, write a prescription. If you have pain, let's give you meds, blah, blah, blah. And he's not into it. He doesn't want to. So all of his success that he's had, where he's pain-free, it's unbelievable what has changed. And it's all because of food. Not necessarily carnivore, but just eating healthy food. It's what your body wants. And our bodies are liking this carnivore diet right now. And I can tell you one thing, I haven't had any problems really, not necessarily. And we were doing AIP. And the fact that we started this diet and I lost that weight really fast and then haven't really necessarily lost it. I don't have a ton I need to lose. I'm not trying to lose weight. But the fact that that proved I had inflammation. I was inflamed. I had more belly fat and I didn't feel like it was real. It felt like it was, water weight. Yeah. And now it's like my stomach's tight. It's weird. I don't know. It's really strange. It's weird.
It is weird.
It's weird. And I don't feel like if I lose weight or something, you get kind of bony and stuff. This is like a fleshy diet. It's weird. Like I feel like I'm fleshy and comfortable in my own skin, but I look better naked. I don't know.
No, it is.
It's really weird. It's really weird. If you look at all the carnivore people versus like vegetarian people, vegetarians look so gaunt and thin and stuff. And I'm not saying anything against it. I'm just saying there's something different about the carnivore people. They're fleshier. It looks healthier for some reason. I don't know. It's weird, but
no, it's
interesting.
Like I felt the same thing coming out of AIP. I felt like, hey, I'm good. And then that first few days, I was like, okay. I thought I was feeling good, but a few days of this, a deep part of my lower back, like I was telling Steph the other day, I'm not like super flexible.
Did you guys see him doing our concrete floor? Oh. He hasn't done concrete in forever because it jacks him up.
Anything like that.
He didn't suffer. He wasn't bedbound for 2 weeks after that. He was up.
Anyways.
It's something you have to acknowledge. That was unbelievable what happened. Because you were troweling and stuff on your hands and knees for a long time.
Okay, here's the deal.
And he didn't suffer. His hands were sore.
Let me finish
just
what I
from
said. So I noticed that something happened down there, like in my hips and stuff, and I was like just looser, and I still am. So there was like she's saying, it's not like not trying to lose weight, but
he thought he was at his best, but it got better.
Yeah, it got better, and something lost a couple pounds, and maybe that was fluid or something, from the inflammation, and I just got looser. I'm almost 60 years old, so it's still, I'm not expecting to be, I'm not acting like I'm 20 years old or something, but it made a huge difference. And like Steph said, I wanted to do that floor because it's like, I felt like I can do it. I was like, hey, this ain't gonna be bad. And it was 3 days of work.
I thought
on my knees and
he might be crippled up after this. Normally he would have been.
I could tell when I was doing it that I was okay. I could just tell. Every time I stood up, I didn't stand up like this, like, oh.
Yeah.
It was just popped up. So that was a really big deal.
Really big deal.
Because I haven't done that in 20 years.
Yeah.
And it was 3 days, and the only thing that hurt was the palm of my hand because I haven't troweled anything in forever. That was it.
And that went away really fast.
Yeah.
He thought, remember if this is what carpal tunnel feels like?
I said maybe I carpal tunnel or dislocated something.
And then like a couple days later, it was nothing.
It was fine. So these are our experiences.
Can't say this enough, but join on Facebook. Join the women's carnivore groups.
Away from the guys.
No,
apparently.
yeah, go to regular ones that aren't going to be that great. Go to the women's ones and go in the search box in there. You could read the files. They'll have links to things that explain the diet, and you'll know how to do it, which is nice. But go into the, or the pinned comments and things, but go into the search box and type in your ailment or whatever it is that you're thinking about and read all the people with diabetes. Did this cure diabetes? This do whatever. All the different things will be in there, and you'll read actual people, not people trying to sell you something, but actual people saying that, oh yeah, I had this, or I had this and this happened, and or my mom has this and this happened. It's just weird, not weird, but neat to read the testimonials, and then all the comments after that are people saying, yeah, me too. You can see before and after pictures. There's all kinds of stuff that they post that is really interesting if you're interested in this. And so you're hearing it from people who, there's thousands of people in these groups that are actually doing this.
Yeah, so just look up those Facebook groups, and you can talk to people. That's cool too.
Yeah, that's true. You can post your own questions.
Yeah.
But I say read first, because especially if you're in the regular carnivore group, because if you just post questions, people will attack. If you in the women's groups, they're way nicer.
So you could go in there and you could look up lose weight or migraine, whatever, autoimmune.
Oh, speaking of migraines, this is interesting. I haven't had a migraine. I hadn't thought about this at all since we started AIP.
Wow.
Not one migraine.
That's interesting.
That is, because I used to get them all the
and
time.
And then you even forget about it too.
I did.
That's cool.
And they weren't the kind where you have a lot of pain. It's an ocular migraine where I'd see this star thing, prisms and stuff that would move out of my vision. But
I used to get those
usually around that time of the month, or if I ate way too much sugar. And I bet you it is sugar related, because we're not having regular cane sugar and all that stuff. So I probably won't ever have one on carnivore.
Tasha needs to know about that.
That's true, because she gets
bad
bad.
ones.
That's true. And she loves bacon. She'd be good on this diet.
That's another friend of ours.
Yep. That's the pizza friend.
She would thrive on that.
She would.
The pizza friends are the ones that we played the pizza joke on.
Yeah.
And
she was my college roommate. Oh, another thing. People get pregnant on this diet, so watch out.
Oh my goodness.
No, it's really weird. Like your hormones, the men and women's hormones kind of go nuts. And women, because of inflammation and stuff that they're fighting, they can get pregnant. So if you aren't on birth control and you're going to do this,
and you don't want to be pregnant,
make sure you take precaution, because a lot of people get pregnant. So
wow.
Watch out for that.
Well, that's our 30 days, 1 full month update. And we're loving it. And we're We're looking forward to doing our blood work too, just so we can share that with you guys.
See what we're deficient in or not deficient in.
Yeah.
I just want to know. I just want for peace of mind. I just finding out about like the kombucha. My peace of mind after that has no problem letting that go, because now I know that there was a study done and there's great gut bacteria.
Yep.
So awesome. Okay, I'm good then.
Yeah.
I just don't. All the things you learn in AIP and a regular standard American diet or healthy eating or whatever, since that's all thrown out the window and we're eating tons of red meat and we're eating tons of eggs and butter and all the things that everybody's terrified of.
Yeah.
To not have vegetables and fruits and stuff. How are you getting your vitamins? You're getting it in. There's so many vitamins and minerals in steak and meat
it's wild.
that and you don't need all those vitamins, like all the vitamin C and stuff to process because you're not having carbs. The whole thing is getting rid of the carbs.
Yep.
And then you don't need all that stuff for the other stuff. If you're doing both, a little bit of both, that can be where the more of the danger is, and you do need to have it be well-rounded. But if you're not, then it's different what you need for what you're eating. Yep. It's weird. So
it's exciting there's this exciting moment when you're finding out, like, well, how do we get these minerals?
Yeah.
And then you find out how it's done by your body with just having meat, and it all makes sense.
It does.
And
it's weird.
It's just like, wow, this is neat.
It's still really, really hard to wrap my head around the fact that we shouldn't have salads or whatever. You know, it's just so weird to me. But hey, I said I'd give it a go, and here we go. We've given it a go, and I'm loving it.
Giving it a go.
Giving it a go.
That chapter is a show we watch on YouTube.
Yeah,
That's
crime.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll keep you posted.
We got to get this butcher box in the freezer.
Oh yeah, we got a bunch of meat here, like Butcher Box, and they're not sponsoring us, so do not buy it if you don't want it.
But we'll keep you posted on weird things that we encounter and stuff.
Enjoy your life.
Enjoy your life.
Bye.